Hey guys, welcome back. So hopefully today we'll be starting the car for the first time. I still have a few things to clue up. I've got my fuel pressure regulator in, and we have to put some stuff on like our MAF and all that, just so the car has something to read off of before starting, and some plug wires, and I gotta put oil in it. But I also have to before I can start it, so on the regulator, I'll show you here actually. So this is the factory regulator. It goes into the fuel rail right here. I have to take this one out, and this is what's going to be replaced here real quick. I'll quickly show you. It's a Tomei, or however you pronounce it, fuel regulator. But I've got, so this plugs into the fuel rail. The one I just showed you there, I'm gonna put somewhere, maybe here, or back here on the firewall somewhere. But I have to build, so I have a piece coming in that adapts this to the aftermarket fuel regulator. Back here is where this one regularly sits, but that piece won't be here till next week, so I'm just going to quickly fab up one with some aluminum and brass fitting, and hopefully it'll work enough to get the car started. But yeah, so I still have a little bit to do, and I also have to try and figure out, I might have wired these up wrong. I think my grounds have to be in the same place. I don't know 100% for sure. I might just try to start it like this. If I ruin the injectors, they're honestly not that expensive. They're $40, which is crazy for like a set of 4 injectors. But I also got a S13 MAF, so should be able, this will be safe for the car, because I think the stock MAF only reads up so far. So that'll be replacing this one. Not too sure actually how to do this, so I have to do some research on it. I'm not going to do it for just starting the car. This is mainly for when you're under a certain PSI boost that the stock MAF can't read it anymore. So and also got some fuel hose here, ready to go for that. I also have to quickly do a oil change on my truck, so I'll be doing that. Yeah, it's already late enough, so it'll be a busy day.
When I'm lonely in the dark, I know you are with me, yeah. Don't you see that I need you so?
Okay, so I've got this pretty much in place here. I followed the instructions on it. It doesn't really seem right to me, so it's essentially telling me right here, if it ever focuses. So I've got my return set up to the return to the tank. I've got my gauge in there and the from fuel rail. So that one there, this fuel filter here, I set it up the same way it was factory. So in factory, this line, or this hose with the white mark on it, was on the fuel filter, which went straight into the fuel rail. And then this just loops back past all the injectors and to the fuel pressure regulator, which doesn't really make sense to me, because at this point, maybe I'm just overthinking it, but once the fuel passes through the rail, at this point the fuel pressure regulator is only working as a pressure regulator for return to the tank, because this other hose without the white mark on it is the return. So maybe I'm just overthinking it, but according to this right now, I have to take this hose and go up to where the factory fuel pressure regulator was, which makes sense. But this is the line from the fuel pump, so it comes up here, and then again this is just going to be fuel returning from the end of the fuel rail into the fuel pressure regulator. So don't know if that's right or not. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, but that's how it was set up from factory, and that's what the instructions say. If we end up having problems, we don't get any right readings or anything, I'll probably mess around with it to what I think it's supposed to be, but just doesn't seem right to me. But we'll stick with it, I guess. So yeah, I believe I still have this for the air intake and all that to connect. I don't need this connected, I just need this connected to the MAF, these to the coils. Also have to hook up this coil pack, and I have to relocate this as well. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it yet, but that's what I'm going to figure out right now. Okay, so another update here. This is all good to go. I quickly fabbed up, you can kind of see in here, just on the end of the fuel rail there. Don't know if that's going to work, because the one that I have ordered is just like this piece, except it's just like a barbed end like this on the end, and it's the proper piece, like it'll actually seat inside. The one I fabbed up doesn't seat inside, it just has an O-ring, like it's this flat surface without this extruding, so it's just an O-ring. I'm like not very confident that that's gonna hold. I think once the fuel pressure hits it, it's gonna leak, but we're gonna give it a go anyway, because I want to see if this thing's gonna fire. And I got majority of this stuff clued away. I mounted this here, so this is its home now. It actually looks pretty good there, like this wire tucks up in here nice, and I just have to put the plug wires on. I put some oil in there. I got the factory MAF on for right now. Before I started, I'm going to crank it to make sure I've got oil pressure for going through this, and I think that's about it. It should be able to start here shortly. That's if everything goes well and everything's plumbed up correctly. I still don't think this is done right, but that's what the instructions say. So I just have to tighten the bolts on the throttle position sensor there, and yeah, so the next time you see me, we'll probably be in the cab of the car, and I'll be hooking up the computer and try to get rolling on this. Just jumping onto the laptop here. Just gonna plug it in right here. I'm gonna turn key. This makes me kind of nervous always. We have power. It's actually, I don't know why, I'm just really nervous. I feel like there's definitely something I'm missing. I hear a lot of relays clicking. Hopefully I'm not starting a fire. I just have to quickly check that out because that's making me nervous. Okay, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's a relay that keeps clicking every now and again. So I'm gonna load up a bass tune here. I believe it's this one. Okay. I'm just gonna quickly have to adjust my injector size. So I'm just gonna go double check we have oil in that can, make sure we're getting oil pressure. I'm just gonna try it one more time to make sure. Maybe I'll go a little more. Oops. Don't think I'm getting any oil to the turbo. Okay, I have 0 oil pressure, which is not good. So the issue I'm having right now is I'm not getting any oil pressure. I don't know if it's because I had the oil pan off. You might have to pour oil down where the timing chain is, or if it's because the O-ring, when I took off the pickup tube, the O-ring is shot and now it's not sucking up any oil because there's a I guess some sort of vacuum leak there. But I'm gonna hook up the fuel pump. If it runs, I'm gonna let it run for like just a couple seconds. I have my oil pressure gauge here. If it doesn't build oil pressure through this, I'm gonna shut it off right away, but that's if it even runs. As for that problem, I might have to take the pan off again, which really sucks, but if that's what I have to do, I'll do it. So I'm just gonna quickly hook up the fuel pump, and yeah, we'll hope for the best here. Okay, so the fuel pump is hooked up. I'm going to prime it a couple times, and I'm just going to jump to a conclusion right now that that fitting's going to leak. I just know it is. So, but we'll hear it when we prime it, so let's give it a go. And now I have no fuel pump. Okay. Let's just see here. Okay, I just heard the fuel pump. Hearing so many noises, it's not even funny. Yep, and just as I thought that was gonna leak. That's awesome. Probably gonna have to call it here. I'm gonna have to wait till next week till that part comes in. Once that part comes in, I'm gonna get a longer piece of fuel hose, and this will all be glued away. For some reason, the pump is not kicking in when the key is on, but it's kicking in randomly. So I don't know why it's doing that. You could probably hear it in the video, and it sounded really weird too. So I'm not sure what's up with that. I've also got to figure out why we have no oil pressure, because there's 0 oil in this, which is not good, and our gauge isn't reading anything. I'm really thinking it's that O-ring on that pickup tube. I really should have changed that while I was in there. That's my screw up, but we'll figure it out. I might try if I can sort out why the fuel pump is doing that. I'm gonna try to start it and see if it builds pressure that way, because I don't know if it'll actually build pressure just cranking it, even though it should. So try and sort that out. Yeah, I guess next week, whenever that part comes in, will be the next episode sometime. I'm thinking Tuesday next week, so the 19th of January it should be in, but that really sucks. I tried anyway, but I never got the chance to see if that was reading any pressure. I really don't think that's right, the way they have that set up, but whatever. I'll see you guys in the next one, and have a good day.